Everyone, and welcome to the Soul Diaries by me, Alla, Melbourne psychic medium. And I've started this podcast so that, to help you connect with other people to see how they have followed their own intuition and their own guidance, to talk about spirit, to talk about everything psychic, to talk about manifestation. So basically, talking about things that are outside of 3D, so to speak. Um, but today I want to talk about connecting to spirit because I have a lot of people that come wanting to connect with those that have passed on. And, the best part about connecting to spirit is disconnecting from the fact that you want to connect to them. And why I say that is because the harder we try, the more we look, the more we want it, the less likely we're to connect. So, really important to understand that sometimes we need to let go to let in, if that makes sense. So, I hope that makes sense. So, connecting to spirit, look, the spirit world is around us. We are always connected. It's all about how much we're willing to be open to it. Remember, any fear we might have will push spirit away. So, I have a lot of people that fear seeing things, fear hearing things, seeing things move. And the moment you show any fear, you tend to push away spirit. So it's really important to understand what you're feeling. So let's have a look at, delving in deeper into what it actually means to connect to spirit. So the basics about connecting to spirit is, first of all, connecting to your consciousness, to your higher self, and simply going within and allowing spirit to connect with you means relinquishing control. And that is really important. It's not about following a specific religion or a specific cult or, anything like that. It's purely everybody's an individual, and spirit comes and communicates with people in different ways. Why? Because it's how you understand it. Once spirit finds a way to communicate with you, it's your way of communicating. So remember, just because one person communicates by scribbling, another person communicates by hearing, another one by seeing, another one via dreams, whatever it is, however people connect to spirit, there is no wrong way. It's just that they have found a portal in how they can decipher any cryptic messages or how they can connect to spirit and get those messages nicely, loudly, and clearly. For those of you who would be like, I've never connected to spirit, I have no idea how to do it, I wouldn't even know where to start. Well, you know what? Your intuition is already spirit connecting with you. So the fact that you've connected to spirit via your intuition, meaning those nudges you get, they're coming from spirit. They're usually like tapping you on the shoulder or going, you need to do this. And you have that urge that, oh my God, I actually need to go here and I need to do that. So that often feels like this push or this nudge, and that comes from spirit connecting with you and wanting to pass on their messages. So there is no wrong or right way about doing it. So I just want you to understand that. Connecting the difference between people say, like, how do you know it's spirit giving you messages? How do you know it's you? Usually, when spirit communicates with us, it's usually a sense of calm because it's not coming from us, it's coming to us. So it's not something where we need to try to receive messages. It just flows in and it's a calm flow in. And it's a knowing. So you just know when those messages are coming through that they're not yours. A really good analogy I use for that is especially like when you could be standing there washing the dishes and all of a sudden somebody pops into your head and you just, they just come up and you start thinking about them and you're like, oh, thought about that person in a while. That's interesting. And then literally a few seconds later, the phone rings. So spirit's given you a message that you're going to be hearing from that person. I know it sounds so simple and basic. If you think about somebody who's passed away, most likely 99.99999%, especially if you haven't forced the feeling or the thought, spirit's connecting with you to let you know that you're not alone, that they're with you in that very moment. So it's really important to recognize that those little things that happen, they're happening because you're already connecting to spirit. So it's something that's so simple that you think is just the norm. That is spirit. So I'm going to end off there on that little segment just for you to process and really understand that, wow, I've been connecting to spirit pretty much my whole life without even realizing that that's what was happening. But it was just a little introduction to what I want to be able to speak about on my podcast. And it'll involve a lot of different people, a lot of different stories, a lot of different situations. So I called it the Soul Diaries because I'd want to discuss everything here. Nothing's off the table. Everything's discussable, if that's even a word. Um, and it's really important that we can be open about it all. And, hearing people's amazing successes, following their gut intuition or manifesting, so we'll talk about it all. So stay tuned. That was a little snippet of something that I do want to discuss further down the track. And we'll be opening up more about that and talking to many other wonderful people that will be joining us on this podcast. So thank you so much for that little introduction, or allowing myself to have that little introduction and for you to listen to it. And let me know if there's anything else you want me to discuss on this podcast.